everybody, it's nice to be speaking to you again. I'm here with Eddie and it's time for another bedtime story. This story is called Dan and Diesel, and I chose this one because it is about a boy and his dog, so I thought Eddie would enjoy this one. Eddie is also having a little munch on his own little doggy toy here as well while we read. So this is Dan and Diesel by Charlotte Hudson and Lindsay Gardner, and I really hope you enjoy it. Let's read the blurb on the back to find out what this is going to be about. Dan's dog Diesel is a wonder dog. When Dan is with Diesel, he can do anything. He can go shopping and play in the Boogaloo jazz band. He can climb mountains and draw pictures in his head. But when Diesel is whisked away one day, everything changes. This is a story of love and independence. And independence means being able to do things for yourself. Let's see what this is about. I really think it's going to be a great one. I haven't read this one before either. My brother Dan has a dog. He is a wonder dog, a bit like you, Eddie. He can do anything. He can ride on trains and planes and in underground tunnels. Wow, don't know many dogs who can do that. He can stand next to an enormous fire-breathing dragon and never flinch an inch. Flinch means to go like this. He's very brave. Do you think that's really a fire-breathing dragon? Talk to someone at home and see if you think it is. My brother's dog is called Diesel because he is jet black, like you, Eddie. Dan and Diesel do everything together. They play jazz together in the Boogaloo band. They'd go to the moon and back together if they could. Wow, another book about going to the moon like the last one we read. When Diesel is with Dan, he has a ticket for wherever he wants to go. Access all areas. There are no dog signs for him. When Dan is with Diesel, he says he can conquer the world. Top of the world, summer 2004. My brother can climb mountains and visit palaces and draw pictures in his head. So imagining amazing places. Every morning, whatever the weather, Dan and Diesel go for a walk to Kite Hill. Diesel watches the world and Dan feels the world all around him. Every afternoon, Dan and Diesel cross the city to the Swing Time Cafe. Dan plays his Boogaloo tunes and Diesel keeps rhythm under the cake table. Ooh, that's where I would be, by the cakes. And every evening when they go home, while I have my tea, Diesel snuggles into his special place. It's warm and soft and smells oh so wonderful. It's the place his nose fits in just by Dan's leg. You could put Diesel in the middle of a field of rabbits, but he wouldn't leave this place. You could throw him balls and go fetch them boomerang, but he'd turn the other cheek. My brother means more to him than any of these things. The ball means the most to Eddie. Sometimes Diesel has nightmares. He lies in his basket and whimpers. He dreams that Dan has left him behind and he's miles away from his special place. A world without Dan would look like this to Diesel. And sometimes my brother has nightmares. He dreams that Diesel has got lost or somehow whisked away. A world without Diesel would look like this to Dan. Just really loud and scary. Then one day Diesel really does get whisked away. The Whiskers have a big black van and sell wonder dogs for lots of money. Dan tries to be brave, but he doesn't much feel like conquering the world on his own. I'm sure that Diesel's trying to be brave too, but he's never been this far from his special place before. That's so sad. Let's see what happens. All night, Dan waits up while the dog squad search the city. I creep down in my pyjamas and try to cheer him up with a Boogaloo tune, but nothing seems to work. The next day, Dan can't cross the city to the Swing Time Cafe. Then I remind my brother, Diesel is a wonder dog. Missing wonder dog reward. Please contact this number. He can do anything. He can open cages. And he's getting to the door. He can cross cities and summon help. He's found the police. He can smell his way home. It feels like a lifetime apart, but at last Dan and Diesel are back together. He managed to find his way home. Diesel sits by Dan's leg and watches the world, and Dan feels the world all around him. Together they can do anything. Together, my brother says, they can conquer the world. And that is the end of our book. I think that was a really fantastic book. And I can see on this last page here that actually Diesel is a guide dog and that Dan is blind, which means he can't see. So he really relies on Diesel. So that was such a lovely book that brought them back together so that Diesel could have his independence. Fabulous book. Did you enjoy that one, Eddie? Yeah? Great. Night night everybody, and I hope you enjoyed it. We will have another bedtime story tomorrow. Night.